Hello everybody, it's finally here, the 100 sub Q&A. That's crazy, isn't it? I never thought I'd be here, but I'm so glad we are. I was actually shooting for 100 subs by the end of next year, but that clearly didn't happen, so yay. I never really thought I would be here because I just made this channel for funsies, and then now actually I have quite a few friends from it, so even more yay. But let's get into it. My first question I have received is from my friend Rye, and she said, would you still love me if I were a worm? That's a great question, and the answer is yes. Yes, I would. The second question I have received is from a friend, just a little penguin, and he asked, favorite cheese? My favorite cheese is probably mozzarella. That's the one I use the most, I guess, but I'm kind of funny, lactose sensitive. Not intolerant, but just sensitive to where I really can't have milk and ice cream, but does it matter? No, because I'll still eat it anyway. Thank you, penguin. Another question I have is from Naps. They said, I'm gonna be the first. Unfortunately, they were not the first, but that's okay. Shh, we don't have to tell them. They asked, who's more superior, Pearl or Marina? So originally when Splatoon 2 first came out, I was Pearl all the way. And then now I have turned the tide to Marina because I just like her vibe. She's amazing. I love her. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Naps. We have another question from another friend, Nico. Nico says, favorite emoji? Probably the nails. For reasons. Thank you. All-time favorite Genshin character. Why would you hurt me in this way? I don't really know, because right now I'm maining Lisa and Kazuha, but I love Ningguang. I also love Lisa and Kazuha and like Beidou and Shenhe and Raiden Shogun. So, to answer your question, yes. Favorite TV show as a kid? Well, that's the thing. I had a lot of different shows that weren't really from my time that I liked, I guess, as a kid. So, like, we had, like, Pink Panther. I know that's, like, kind of an old one, but don't worry about it. Like, Tom and Jerry, banging, absolute 10 out of 10. Steven Universe was really great. Dexter's Laboratory, Avatar Last Airbender. Like, I was an insane, like, Amazing World of Gumball. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your questions, Nico. This one's from, I'm so sorry if I butcher your username. Please forgive me forever. Tazarol? I'm so sorry. And they just simply said, oh, well. Sure. So the same person asked, why are you small? Kind of like Naps replied, do you mean, like, physical or, like, channel-wise? Because if you mean physical, I'm 5'6", so I guess I'm not really classified as short, but not, like, tall either, I guess. Now, channel-wise, I'm small because I just started, like, at the end of June. So, yeah. Danger says, are you aware of the power and creative skill that the Splatoon Gmod / SFM animation community can have, even creating something dark from a colorful on the surface but already dark game? And then they included a username that I've not researched before. I would say yes and no. I've seen like a few videos about like the Splatoon Gmod, but I never like deep dived into it because it never really interested me that much. I was more like the animations type deal, or like just stuff like that, not really like the figures, but I'd like to research it more one day. Thank you so much. So we have another question, and it's from Gotcha Be Like. So the first question is, which Splatoon game has the best hero mode? I would say, I don't really remember one. 2 was okay. 3 was the one I look forward to the most, so I'd probably say 3. But DLC counts, but Octo Expansion was so good. Splatoon 3 or Octo Expansion? Second question, which Splatoon game has the biggest space in your heart? 1 was kind of where it started it all, although I don't really remember it that much, because I sold my Wii U a while ago, but more on that later. 2 was great. That's when I really started to get into, like, you know, my YouTube channel and stuff. So, that's pretty good. 3 is, like, new beginnings. So, 3 is definitely really good, too. So, I really can't decide. I guess I'd say 1 or, I don't know. My final answer is going to be 3. Sorry. We got another. This is from Kid Squid, and they said, this isn't really a question, but guess who your 100 sub was? I'm going to guess it was you. And if it was, thank you. Who is more superior, Squid Sisters, Off the Hook, or Deep Cut, and why? So, Off the Hook amazing. I love them, but I don't really have that much of a connection because I had actually got Splatoon 2 physical version, like the physical version when it first came out, and then I sold it because the NSO thing, and I didn't have the money for it, so I was like, well, I'll just sell the game to get the money. And then I actually got it back in December of 2020, so I really like Off the Hook. But the Squid Scissors, the original OGs, that was what I remember most from like my childhood, like growing up with Splatoon. So Squid Scissors, awesome. And then we have Deep Cut. I really like Deep Cut. They're all so funky and they're fresh, and I love Shiver, Fry, Big Man. Oh my gosh, they're all so great. But I guess the Squid Sisters, because if you guys remember correctly, the Nintendo 3DS had themes, and I had the Squid Sisters as mine, so yeah. How did I get into Splatoon? So, I got into Splatoon like when I was younger, and the first game for the Wii U, and then I played it with like a few of my friends like a lot, and then Splatoon 2 came out, and I was like, oh, this is great. So then I, obviously like I said, sold it, and then now I got him back into it, because honestly, like all the streamers and stuff, so yeah, thank you. And then I said, congrats, that is all. Thank you very much, Kids Good. We have our final question here, and it's from Naps again. We love them, 10 out of 10. And then they asked, well, I guess not really asked, but they just said profile change. Yes. So if you wonder why I changed my PFP, it's because I'm gonna start streaming soon, hopefully. I'm not really sure when or when I'll get the courage to do so, but I would like to start soon because it really interests me. And then plus I'm getting a Wii U with Splatoon, the original, and then we're gonna play some of that and like Zelda games on there that I haven't played in like 6 years. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for the questions, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody for sticking around. So continue to stick around. See ya.